Welcome to Midlife Butterfly, where transformation gets real through every twist and turn of your journey. When you are empowered and fully love yourself, you'll embrace the messy, magical process of transformation with open arms. I am Ken as you, and this is your space to feel seen, heard, and inspired by real talk. So you don't just create a life you love, you live it every single day with unapologetic joy and freedom.
Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Midlife Butterfly. This month of February, it's my birthday month. And what I want to share with you today are the learning lessons. Some of the main ones that I have learned through this inner work journey. Meaning through this life, human experience life, better said. I hope you are doing well. And I'm recording this while I'm still laying in bed. That's one of the things that I have learned, really, to listen to my body. And since last night I knew it needed to rest, so I was like, I'm gonna honor it. And that's what I'm doing. I'm still in bed recording this for you. I am at my mom's place in Mexico and heading out of here in a few days. And I'm saying a birthday celebration month because it's not only for me, my nephew, my brother and sister, and my little niece, actually. All of us, we have birthdays this month, not counting a friend of mine that we're going to celebrate our birthdays in Mexico City as well. Specifically for my birthday on the 19th, I'm going to be by the ocean in Oaxaca, in a oceanfront house that I rented it there specifically to celebrate my 47th birthday. Yes, that's my gift to me. So let's start with the share about what I have learned through this inner work journey on the past years. And I gotta start with the habits. Oh my God. There is a lot of people that they ask me like, how old are you? And when I tell them, they get very surprised that I am in my late 40s. When I respond, actually, it's about, well, it's Chinese blood and good habits. And the good habits, they have really change and shift and improve and rejuvenate, of course, and maintain my body in a better state. It's incredible how much, the things that I'm going to tell you today, you have heard about all of them, most likely. I'm just giving you my perception, what I have learned, because sometimes it's about how people say things that they're going to click with us or not. Anyway, habits. I started doing yoga when I moved to Canada back in 2011. And a few years later, finally, my mind and body connected. And when that happened, actually, my body was like, we need better foods. So that's what I did. I started doing research and I found Valeria Lozano, which is the founder of Grupo Hábitos. She's also from Mexico. So I started following her, you know, with green juices, smoothies, eating more plant-based foods, etc., etc. Even like meditating more, because before I used to, do the 21 challenge of Oprah and things like that. So it was not a habit itself, meditation. And once I started implementing it fully, oh my God, like meditation has transformed my life. That's what I can say. When I started observing my thoughts and bringing to my consciousness out of my subconscious, some programs and patterns and beliefs that I didn't know they were there, woohoo! Many things shifted in a good way. And some of them are going to be sharing with you later on, so stay tuned. In the past years, something, and this is huge. Yeah, this is huge, because I move from victim to victorious. And oh my God, living in the victim, even though it's very nice, because from that place, you want to control things, you actually manipulate. We can get other people to do whatever the fuck we want, because, oh, poor me, you don't hear me, you don't love me, you don't. And fuck that. It's not about them. It is always about you. It is always about me. And it's so liberating once I understood that. And one of the tools that I helped to start realizing and transforming that relationship of myself, of being the victim to being the victorious, it was the law of mirrors. Have you heard about it? It's considering that everything that is happening to me a mirror. So whatever I resonate with it is a mirror of myself. Whatever it triggers me, it's a mirror to myself as well. So once I understood that everything that triggered me was a mirror, it was reflecting me back something that I have to work in myself. Of course, it was very challenging and frustrating at the beginning, because we are used to blame the other person and to focus in the other person. And by doing so, we just want to put that one out there, when in reality, everything is about in here. So once I started noticing that everything that triggered me, like when somebody was not putting attention, when somebody was not doing what I wanted them to do, or when somebody was upset, and that also triggered me, and understanding that each of those things were things that I had to work on myself. Oof. That victorious in me started coming out. Because what happened is that I took responsibility for myself. I removed that responsibility from others to please me, to make me happy, to love me, to take care of me. All those things that maybe you still are putting in others. That, please, I'm begging you this, stop doing it. Because once you take responsibility for yourself, not the sky, but the universe is the limit. And guess what? The universe is unlimited. So that's the invitation in this part of the inner work. Be the victorious. Take responsibility for your life. It's so freaking worth it. One important thing, very important thing, that I did during my inner work is to recognize my core wounds. Because by recognizing them and at the same time understanding which was the root of them, I was able to heal immensely. And at the same time, I understand a lot of my beliefs and a lot of my patterns and programs, meaning also like how I was acting with others and my behaviors because of those wounds. One of them is rejection for me. And I needed to go back and to see, okay, when this came out. It was not here out of nowhere. So once I understood which was the root of it and how I interpreted of what the situation happened, I was like, holy shit, yeah. This is it. And what I mean with what the benefit is of, in this case, my rejection wound, I used to hide a lot. I used to then believe that people were rejecting me, when the reality is I was rejecting myself. And then we come back to the law of mirror, right? Everything is intertwining here. Doing the inner work, everything is intertwined. So when I then recognize my rejection wound, it's when I start healing myself. And the first thing that I needed to do was really accepting myself. Because if this wound of rejection was there, the very first person that I was rejecting was myself. And I don't know if this resonates with you, but it's something very hard. Something very hard looking at yourself at the mirror and not accepting who you are. And not only physically, but at any other level, you know. I guess that could be another episode for this midlife butterfly. Another one that I have, and I believe that most of the people will resonate with this, is our lack of self-worth. Oh my God, unworthiness. There's so much programming out there to make you believe that you are unworthy since the time you were conceived, not even born, because in some cultures you have to be a man to be worthy. That's what they say. And there are so many situations for culture, religion, the collective, that since we are born, we already get to perceive all this very subtle. Sometimes it's told very straightforward why you are unworthy. And you might have experienced something like this, at least in my culture from Mexico and North America, and I guess also Europe. At least for women, like the expectation out there on how we supposed to look and the sizes of our body and the colors of your skin and how you gotta behave and say and not say and dress, and God forbid you're getting older. And that's a fucking other story. And I believe now that I'm talking about it, I'm feeling it in my body, that there is probably some of the reasons why I created Midlife Butterfly. Midlife. It is such a fucking blessing to be alive at this age. At least for me personally, because of my journey and because I continue to grow and evolve and doing the inner work, life keeps getting better and better. It's a fucking pleasure to be alive. And that's also because of the work that I've done to believe, to understand now that I am worthy just by being here alive in this human experience. I am fucking worthy. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to have anything. I am worthy because I am. As simple as that. And at the same time, as difficult to get there, because I needed to peel so many layers of that unworthiness that I believed I had. And that was quite a journey. It took me more than 4 decades, let me tell you. So keep peeling layers. Keep doing the work, and you're gonna be able to get there. Because again, it's simple, but it's not easy. Remember that you are not alone. And there is a lot of people that can offer you support to do this work. And I'm one of them. Yeah. It's one of the basic things that as a humans, I believe we have to do, because it's not only in women. I know this is a wound, a deep wound, inherited in men as well. So, the invitation is to do the work. To really embody and accept that you are fucking worthy. Because you are. You are. Prioritizing myself. This was something hard to do. As women, we have been programmed to put everyone else first on the list, and we gotta be the last one. You gotta take care of everyone else, and being the last on the list is the worst mistake ever. Because how are you going to give and serve and take care of others when you don't fill up your cup? That's really, and I understand that after many years, and after doing this work and continuing doing this work, that if I don't take care of myself, if I prioritize everyone else before me, I give from a place of lack and frustration. And then I used to blame others when I was helping them. Isn't it stupid? At the same time, it is obvious, because if I'm giving others from a place of, first of all, victimhood, from another one, helping them when I don't really want to help, because I haven't filled up my cup first, how on earth I'm not gonna be frustrated and then blaming others because I'm serving them? It's so insane. And I was creating so much resentment instead of giving love. Because that's the thing. Once I started filling up my own cup, with my habits and my practices, and knowing that I was okay, that I was into alignment of body, mind, and spirit. And I knew that from that alignment, from this freaking love and harmony and joy that I'm cultivating within myself. And then from here, I'm able to give and serve. Of course, I'm giving it and doing it from the place of abundance. Abundance, not lack. And that changed everything. Everything. As simple as that. And you know what? Besides that, the best benefit ever of all of this. Because the thing is, the more I took care of myself, the more self-care I was doing for me. For better foods, taking care of my body, with movement, exercises, by me being mindful and continuing to meditate and seeing what was there consciously and unconsciously to move forward, healing my wounds. The more self-care I did, the more I got to know who I was. And by knowing myself more and understanding myself more, I started loving myself finally. I used to say that I love myself, and it was a big fucking lie. Because the truth is, how are you gonna love someone when you don't know it? You can't. You can't. I'm telling you. Have you heard of unconditional love? That's the thing. There is only love. Because once we are conditioning ourselves and we are conditioning others, that's not love. Let me tell you, that is not love. I get to listen to a lot of coaches and with mentors that I have worked, and I didn't understand this for a few years. I didn't understand, like, what do you mean there's only love and non-conditional love? And now I get it. There is only love when we are conditioning ourselves or how I supposed to look and which size of my body I gotta have, and many things that I used to criticize on myself. Stupidities, really. Stupidities. And now I get to love this vessel, this beautiful vessel that I have, that is imperfectly perfect. And that's true love. There's no conditioning anymore. And of course, once I love myself fully and truly, once I did the work on my own, just from there, from within, it's how I've been able to go to that outer world over there and love other people from there. Because if I love myself fully and truly, I don't have to ask others to love me. I don't have to beg for love, because I know I am love, and I know I carry this love with me, and I can share it as much as I want to. And the cool part is that love is really as a flame. You know, a flame in a candle? When you light another candle, you're just sharing and spreading that flame. It's the same with love. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my God. It brings me to tears because it is so fucking beautiful that I can feel it on my body, and I know it's my soul speaking out there. And my soul knows how long it took me to get here. Only she knows. Only she knows. That's why knowing thyself is so important. And knowing thyself really at a deeper level. Because the more I get to know who I am, the more I get to set boundaries according to my standards. And then also, I can create my dream life. Yes, I can. And you can't too. You can too. Because the more you get to know who you are, you know, what you want, what you don't want, what you desire, and also realizing what is limiting you to achieve your dream life, which are your patterns and beliefs that are holding you back, then it's how we can really start moving forward and realizing which are all those little items on the path that don't allow us to really create that dream life that we fucking deserve. Because whatever it is that you desire, you can create it. Yes, you can. And for what I see in general, it's usually not from a blink of an eye. I've been saying for the last 4 years that I am a digital nomad. And finally, this time I can tell you, yes, I am a fucking digital nomad. I'm finally embodying, excuse me, and I'm finally like doing it. Because by the time you're listening this, it's gonna be my birthday. And I'm going to be by the beach on a rustic house that I rented in front of the ocean. And that's, again, my birthday gift, as I mentioned at the beginning. And getting to know myself deeper also is what has brought me here. It has helped me to get that clarity on knowing which is my purpose here. Or at least my purpose at this very moment. Because I believe that purposes shift as we are growing and evolving in life. And at this very moment, what I do believe and what I feel in every cell of this beautiful temple body is to help others transform, to help you transform yourself. And that's what I'm sharing all this. Because I hope that at least you can get one little tiny thing of all these blah, blah, blah that I'm giving you. And with that little shift, you get to transform something in your life. We are all in different journeys. And we're not here to compare ourselves. Just make sure that you compare yourself with yourself every day, and that you can recognize that you are not the same person of the day before. Because I'm sure that there's something that you can learn, that you can shift, that you can change. In a way, it can be a tiny, simple little thing, or it can be a huge shift. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are growing, because when we stop growing, it means that we're dying. And even when our vessel continues to move forward and getting older and all that, and I mean, we're going to die. That's gonna happen. That's something for certain for all of us. We are going to die. You are going to die. I am going to die. The thing is that while we are alive in this vessel, please get to live. Not to survive. And if you are in survival mode, I really encourage you to take the time to do the inner work, so you can move from that survival to living and enjoying life, because it's so fucking worth it. And I'm telling you because it's been years, it's been already decades. And moving from survival to enjoying life, that's what makes the whole difference of this journey. And I understand now that many people, they are not ready to do that. Inner work is not easy. But it's worth it. And I want to believe that if you're actually listening to this, it's because you want to transform your life. You are willing to create and live better experiences. And you can. You are allowed. You are worthy enough. And also, I'm sure you are courageous and resilient enough and have the power to do so. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not capable, because that's their perception. That's not on you. It's just the mirror that you are reflecting on them. And it's on them. You choose how you want to see yourself in the mirror. So choose wisely. One of the things that I learned mainly that last year, I kept hearing the word equanimity. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it meant. And I looked for the description and I was like, okay, but it still didn't sink in. Because my mentor, Kathy Heller, she uses it a lot, equanimity. And then last year, when I did for the first time a Vipassana retreat, a 10-day silent retreat, also the teacher in there talks about equanimity. And it was until then while meditating for hours and hours and being in silent with my speaking voice, but of course all the voices in my head were running. Oh my God, that was so crazy. And I know you can relate to that. It's until I did that retreat that I could fully understand and I could embody that equanimity. And now my description of what equanimity is accepting what is. Accepting what is. There are no labels needed. I mean what I mean. Here we go again. There's no good or bad. There's no label. There is no description. There is no the observer is there. It's there, and there's only seeing everything objectively. So there's no judgment. It is what it is. Period. It's really your mind, my mind, telling us that we have to label everything. It's black or it's white or it's up or it's down or it's left or it's right. It's good, it's bad, it's always doing this. Division. That's what it is. It's the fucking division that doesn't allow us to actually accept what is. And it comes from the collective. It is the freaking matrix telling us. That's how it works. So that's coming back. That's what is important, to do the inner work. Because then when you get to understand where it's coming from, that is not yours. Yeah, it's in your mind because somebody programmed it there for how many years. Then you get to choose if you want to follow that or not. You choose. You always can choose. You have that option. And being equanimous, accepting what is, and that what is many times can be painful, can be depressing, can be sad, or can be joyful and harmonious and loving and peaceful. And all of them, all of it is valid because it is what is. And we're going to experience all that in this human experience. So once you understand and embody that equanimity, there's so much liberation. There's so much freedom. And you know why? Because you stop trying to control most of the shit that you cannot control, that's the truth. And by releasing that, then you are letting go of that resistance of trying to control or manipulate things. And once you understand that most of the things, you cannot control them, but you can control how you want to see them. You can choose how you want to experience them. You can choose how you want to feel in a way after. Let's say if there's a sad experience and there's a lot of then sadness or grief. Yes, take the time to go through those emotions, because again, there's no negative or positive emotions. It's just the fact that at one point after you go through those experiences, you always get to choose. And I don't know you, but at this moment, I choose love, I choose peace, and I choose joy as much as possible. Yes, that's what I choose. I get to be more present now. Oh my God, that's quite a practice. Yeah. Holy shit. I sure you can relate that sometimes you are so much in your head. So much in your head that you might struggle to connect to your body. At least that's what I experienced long time ago, until my body and mind connected. The worst thing is that we believe what our mind is telling us. We really believe all those stories. And we believe we are those stories. And those stories that come from your ancestors, from the collective, from your caregivers, from your education, your culture. Meaning, it's not even yours. It doesn't come from you. I don't know if it has happened to you many times that you are very desperate, you feel lost, and then you feel out of alignment and you want to come back to your center and, struggle. And once you take, let's say 2 minutes, just 2 minutes to pause and breathe and take very conscious breaths and feeling your body, how that air comes in and out. You can try it now if you want to, by the way. Just by doing that, in focusing on this present moment, you come back to your center. You come back to peace. And that's when you are really and truly connected to your soul, because that's who you are. That's who you are, really. And I understand it's not easy to be present, again, because of all the exterior information that we keep receiving constantly and constantly with sounds, voices, images, visuals, news, the complaints of your neighbors, There's so much noise out there. There's so much noise. And that's why trying to come back to the present moment as much as you can, it really takes practice. It takes practice. And that's why I consider that meditation is key for this. Because if you have already tried meditation, oh my God, I have heard so many people say, I can't because I keep thinking things. I said, of course, your mind is going to continue thinking as long as it's alive. As far as you are alive, your mind is going to be thinking all the time. So what meditation helps to do, it helps you observe those thoughts. That's what really you do at meditating, is just observing. It's like considering you as the sky and seeing your thoughts as the clouds. So just let them pass. Let them pass, whatever it is. Whatever thought it is that it might tell you, you are not enough. What are we doing for lunch today? Oh, I haven't completed my to-do list. Oh, what is my kid doing for life? Again, all those things are just thoughts. Let them pass. Let them pass. You are the sky. Just observe them. That's it. And the cool part about meditation is that at one point you're gonna start observing those thoughts that were in your unconscious that you didn't know were there. And that's when the tricky part comes. At least personally, when I started then realizing like how mean I was to myself, how I used to talk to myself. Oh my God. Please be aware of your vocabulary. For Christ's sake, be aware of your vocabulary, because if you speak to other people the way you do, be aware of how you speak to yourself, because we tend to be our worst enemy. And not even to our worst enemy out there, we will give the kind of vocabulary and mean expressions and words that we do to ourselves. And if I'm lying to you, please let me know. But I'm so sure that this is the truth. At least to most of us. So the more I change my vocabulary and then observe what it was there behind, it's also what helped me to know who I am. Oh my God, can you hear the dogs? it's really what has helped me know more about myself. Like listening to those thoughts, observing those thoughts deeply, because they keep coming and coming. And if I don't know myself to the core, how am I going to have clarity in my life? How am I going to take decisions in my life? From a place that I can feel more secure and more certain of what I'm doing. So the more I meditated, and I'm coming back to what I started speaking about this because I was telling about practicing of being present. And for me, what really helped me was meditation, because again, while you are meditating, you're gonna go away and then, start listening to all those thoughts and beliefs and blah, blah, blah that is in your head. So what happens in meditation is then to come back and focus on your breath again. So at the beginning, it might take you 20 minutes to get out of that movie and play that you have of your thoughts to coming back again to your present moment. But then if you keep practicing and practicing, then it might take you 15 minutes. And then it might take you 10, and then 7, and then 5, and then 3. And then you might be able to stay present for 2 minutes instead of 10 seconds. That's how it is. It's practice. It's practice. And why I am emphasizing being in the present moment? Because only now it's when everything it's being co-created at the same time. In this very present moment, it's when the past and the future are happening simultaneously. And if you are not present now, where is the only moment when you can actually create consciously or unconsciously. So the more present you are, the more conscious you're going to be to create the life that you love, the life of your dreams. It's only in this present moment. You don't have anything else. The future is uncertain, is not here, and the past just passed. We can interpret our past in different ways as we are healing to understand and to heal at a deeper level. But the reality is everything is happening now. And now, in this very present moment. Take a deep breath also if you need to. I know that's a lot to take because it took me quite some time to understand this. All I have is this present moment. And I get to choose how I want to experience it. And even when situations are going to happen, because that's the truth, I can label them as good or bad. The thing is, I get to choose who I want to experience them. I may experience pain, and I can avoid suffering. I can do that, and you can do that too. And I want to give you an example in here, because you might be creating a lot of suffering in your life that you are not aware of it. And this life, it's to experience it in a more higher levels of emotions, of the emotional scale. If you know what I'm talking about, you can find the emotional scale in, you can search for it and understand it. So again, all the emotions are valid. It's just like, what do you choose to experience more? And about the suffering is, if you heard about the waking call of my episode, I talk over there when my father transitioned, and it has been the most painful experience I have ever had in this life. And even when it was that fucking painful, once I accepted that it was his time to go, that his life experience here, it was done, and that realizing and thinking about all the great things that he did here, all the fucking love that he spread around with his work, with his words, with his caressing. When I accepted that it was his time, coming back to that equanimity, right? Accepting what is, that at that time still I didn't know what equanimity was. That's what helped me not to suffer. If I would continue to think, why him? Why now? It was too early. It was too soon. He was not sick, because he was not. He got a brain aneurysm. So it was very sudden. So if I would have got stuck on thoughts of that matter, I would have suffered so much. And I would probably be suffering now after 5 years. If I would have chosen not to let him go, most likely I would be suffering now. And I'm sharing this with you because how many circumstances have happened in your life that, yeah, they were painful at one moment, but then your thoughts, you're trying to control kind of mindset doesn't allow you to heal, to move forward, and therefore you are suffering. Like I've listened and read a lot of stories about divorced women still blaming the partner. It was a narcissist, it was this, it was that, it was cheating. The thing is, even if that partner was like that, with all those deeds, when you take responsibility for your life and you said, yeah, I shoot him. And I've been married twice. And I've been divorced twice. I know, I've been married 4 times. Yeah. 2 times with each of them. When I took responsibility to say, okay, this is what happened. These were my wounds. This is what I'm taking responsibility of it. And the first thing that I needed to say, it was that I chose them and they needed to be here for a certain period of time in my life for me to keep growing and evolving. I'm not blaming anyone. Not at all. Not at all. And I'm so grateful actually for them, for being part of my life. Because they have helped me shape who I am now. And because it's part of the journey, that's it. That's it. If I've gotten stuck on those of what the other person didn't do, what the other person did that hurt me, that whatever. They didn't cheat on me. I didn't do it either. But if it was your case, you gotta understand that it has nothing to do with you. Nothing. Nothing. It was their choice. And that's some of the things that they get to heal. So you get to choose to do the work, to take the learning lessons from there and move on. Because the truth is, for how long they were in your life, probably a few years or decades, it doesn't matter. You were here before. You're still alive. So, choose to continue living, not surviving, living. I guess I deviated a bit, but I thought that was important to mention that. Because suffering is such a big, what's the word? There's something big that a lot of people still living. And the truth is, by doing the inner work, we can avoid it. And probably that's why I want to share it with you. Because you can avoid it. Again, you're here to live, not to survive. And that's what I'm here to help people to transform their lives, to connect back to their intuition, to their soul. Because you might believe that you are many things and many descriptions, and when the truth is that you are a soul living a human experience. And once you get to connect back to that part of you who is really you, life is so fucking beautiful at any level, even where there's pain and things that are happening that we don't want to. Because again, you will know that is part of your human experience. And the more inner work you get to do, the less suffering, the more you get to choose and choose and choose again what's best for you, discerning. And you get to feel good most of the time. You get to choose that. You get to connect to your body, mind, and soul at a deeper level. And that's my belief of this human experience. Coming back to that connection and that alignment of body, mind, and soul. And that's what I have learned so far in these 47 years of life that I just got to share with you. I thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I appreciate taking you the time to listen to this. I really hope that there was something that resonated or triggered you. So it means that there's work to do as usual, because this doesn't end until it does. So enjoy the life. Enjoy this life experience. You are not a victim. Take back your victorious life to experience it at your best, with all the love and all the abundance that there is. Much love to you always, always.
Thank you for tuning into Midlife Butterfly. If this episode lit a spark in you, hit that subscribe or follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to listen, so you'll never miss the magic. If you're feeling generous, drop a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps this empowering content reach more souls ready to transform their lives. And don't forget to take a photo of you while listening and share it on your socials. You can tag me at KenAsYou so I can celebrate you and your expansion. Until next time, keep spreading those wings and living in joy, growth, and pleasure.